Let's talk about this whiteboard for a minute, shall we? It looks very technical, with radio frequencies, latitude and longitude coordinates, and all sorts of buzzwords, doesn't it? You'd get the impression that whoever created it was a very technical person, right? Well, that's what they want you to think. Let's break some of it down for you, shall we? Let's start with the radio frequencies towards the top of the board, shown in green. They're displayed in megahertz, as frequencies typically are. Are these the frequencies used by the searchers? A quick search on the internet leads us to a Wikipedia page called Multi-Use Radio Service. This is an American-only radio service for walkie-talkie-style radios, similar to Citizen Band, also known as CB around the world. In fact, these frequencies appear to have been copied directly from the Wikipedia page. I will provide a link and screenshot in a community post to confirm this. However, they weren't copied correctly. Rich wrote them down incorrectly, but rather than erasing and fixing the mistake, he just added arrows to show the positions as reversed. What's interesting is that the use of multi-use radio service in the EU is actually illegal. Instead, a version called PMR 446 is used. So why would searchers in an EU country be using devices operating on an illegal radio frequency? Next, let's talk about the coordinates displayed on the whiteboard. As mentioned, these are longitude and latitude values, which can be entered directly into Google Maps. Essentially, longitude is a vertical measure, and we usually use north as a reference point to determine how far we are from it. Latitude is a horizontal measure, and the majority of the world, including Google Maps, uses east as a reference point to measure distances. Interestingly, Rich has decided to use west as the reference for latitude. This means that when entering the coordinates into Google Maps, we have to change west to east for them to work correctly. I'm not sure why he has done this, except perhaps to introduce more confusion into the scenario. Looking further at the whiteboard, I noticed one set of coordinates labeled family and friends. It stood out as quite different from the others. When I checked where these coordinates mapped to, I was surprised to find that they pointed to a location in Jay's hometown of Oswald Twistle, UK. Why would someone use coordinates for his hometown rather than just naming the place? I tried the other coordinates, expecting some revelations, but all I got was the Airbnb location. The phone ping, a point somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean to the west of Tenerife, and another point in the ocean to the southeast of Tenerife. Neither of these last two locations appears to have any relevance to the case, as far as I know. The rest of the board is mostly filled with words related to mobile phones, such as GSM, IMEI, a handset serial number identifier, and other technical acronyms that don't convey any meaningful information. Alongside these, there are random 3-digit numbers and phrases like how it all works, and pings are hard to do. To a non-technical person, it might look very impressive, as it's meant to, but it doesn't convey any useful information. Instead, it includes inaccuracies, such as the multi-use radio service frequencies copied from Wikipedia.